Good morning. This is my second project for Sunday. I need to trim this tree. It looks really wide and big, but I've trimmed it before and we trimmed quite a bit last year. So I need to bring it back a bit so that we can pass on the stairs. It's getting a little bit shaggy and a little bit tight here on the stairs. Excuse the stairs, they're a little bit falling aparty, but anyway, as you can see, it sort of rubs up against the house a little bit. So just to make it look a little nicer, I'm gonna trim it and make it passable. So I will get my clipper and come get started. So that's looking a little tamer. This big part I may want to cut with proper trimmers, and I'm not really trimming the proper way, I should point out. You shouldn't be using hedge trimmers or shears to trim a tree, but this tree is these, and if you don't trim it, it gets way too big, and there are overhead wires and the gutter, so it's kind of, no offense little tree, but it's a bit of a scrappy tree that's been saved over and over again. It'd probably be dead had I not trimmed it ever. So yeah, normally if we're gonna trim a tree, we're gonna prune it right back to a branch like this, because otherwise it causes sort of, trying to find a branch, but it would cause more of this kind of effect, which is called witch's broom, and it makes the branches grow. If you think like what a witch's broom would look like, it's that instead of sprouting a whole new branch, this branch needs to come off because it's broken anyway. But so yeah, when you want to cut a branch, you want to cut it right about here. You can look up code it on the computer, and CODIT, and it'll give you a good idea of how to trim trees. So anyways, I'm going to move around the front and do as much as I can do without a ladder, because nobody's home nobody's around to watch me on a ladder, and if I fall off, well, that's no good. So I need somebody to hold the ladder for me while I work. So I got to about here. Yeah, I'll get the I just took a big branch out here. It needed the other kind of snippers, but it left a hole. But this will all fill in really quickly. This tree grows like a weed, and if you let the branches get too big, they're gonna bend and break, or they don't really break, they sway, and it's very pretty, but it'll eventually damage the gutter system and all that. So try to keep it in a manageable size. take out any big branches right back at the junction, and yeah, promote healthy growth. But that's the best way to reduce the size. Doing what I'm doing, like I said, isn't great, but it depends how you want your tree to grow, really. So yeah, this is the hole, but it'll grow back. This backside's not looking too special, but it'll look better once it gets fully trimmed. This side, it's mainly the privacy from this chair, so if I sit here, yes, people can see me this way, but they can't sort of see me coming all the way down the road, so that's okay. Never got privacy on this side anyway, on the right side, so anyway, that's okay. So just over here, like I said, don't want it too tall because it rubs against the house and it's harder to trim. You need the bigger pruners, and when you're trying to reach on top of a ladder on a windy day, it'd just be better to keep it shorter. So I think I'm just gonna tidy up. So I think that looks pretty good for today. There's a bit of a chunk taken out there, but it will grow back in. I didn't take it out. It was a hole that's grown in, or a branch that broke over the winter, and because the other leaves grew up so much around it, didn't have a chance to fill in. So now, because the sun can get into the middle of the tree, those branches will grow up and it'll fill in the hole, and I'll be cutting this within the month. That's how fast it grows. So anyways, yeah, happy that's done. So there's the finished job. I just thought you'd like to see it with the lawn mowed. It looks all tidy and nice. So I wish all of you a very nice Sunday evening, and back to work tomorrow.